name is Deborah Lenon, and I do want to thank you all for being here. Although I want to say that what we really wanted was a one-on-one town hall with each of you. We've had our town hall with everybody else, and I think it was extraordinary, and I applaud him for answering our questions and staying out here for an hour and a half and we're done full.
Yep, thank you.
But what we're looking for is regular accessibility and interaction. This is lovely, but we'd really like to hold each of you accountable in the future. Then I want to say another thing. I think that we're wondering where kind of the outrage is.
Yes!
There's a little bit of tone deafness on the stage. You all, I understand you have jobs to do. And you applauded all of us for being here and being engaged. I'm not happy to be here. I'm terrified. This is a crisis. I'm 61 years old. I have followed politics. My father was a West Point grad. I grew up in Germany at the Embassy of Bonn, and I have traveled all over the world doing business as a high-tech executive. I am terrified with what is going on. It is a crisis that we have never, ever encountered. Our Constitution isn't up for it, okay? Senator Reid mentioned that we are a country of laws. Yeah, I thought so, except for every time we turn around, like when you Democrats boycotted the two committees. Mitch McConnell went, who cares about the rule that says a Democrat has to be here? The laws you're talking about, the ethics laws, we get a judge, we get the Ninth Circuit to go, an independent judiciary, thank God, who rules against this authoritarian regime. And what am I hearing? I'm hearing that Republican Congress is talking about reconfiguring the 9th District. It's too big, and they're going to take it all apart so that they can get a less liberal decision. And I don't know how quickly they can do that, but they're doing it. Now, we found that the judiciary seems to be the only check that we have at this time, unfortunately. Now we've got a Supreme Court seat coming up. A stolen one. Give them a conservative justice, and it's a stolen seat. It was Garland or another nominee that a Democratic president nominates. There is no law that says there have to be more than 8 justices, or that there have to be 7. I am petrified that we're going to lose the one check that we have, and that's why we here are begging you to oppose and resist at every junction. This is what I say to Republicans when I call them. 73.5 million Americans voted against Donald Trump. The Senate lost 2 Republican seats. The House lost 5 Republican seats. We did not expect to forfeit all checks and balances in this election. And we need you to fight for us. They do not have a mandate. You do.
hear you.
We get what we expect because we are going to hold you accountable. We're here because we're counting on you. We're begging you.
Understood. And let me just, on the question of filibuster, we have to hold 41 Democrats. Okay? We have to hold 41 Democrats. There are two ways you filibuster. One is by making noise on the floor for a long period of time. At best, that's postponed something by a day. It has never been a long-term, effective legislative measure. The other has been to hold 41 votes and prevent them from getting cloture and being able to go to wherever they want. Okay? So, hold on a second. So we think about this a lot because we've got to defend that. There are two problems. One is that we could easily lose 7 of our senators on some particular vote. So we've got to try to make sure that we hold our team together to be effective. And by the way, there are 10 Democratic senators running for election in 2018 in states that Donald Trump won. So they need to hear from you, and they need to know that you will have their back, okay? Because if we lose those votes, we lose the filibuster, and there's no correcting it. The other thing that we have to do is we've got to keep a lot of pressure on our colleagues on the Republican side not to break the filibuster on the Supreme Court. The best way this works is that we hold the filibuster, we hold the Democrats, they can't get to 60, and the lesson that Donald Trump learns is, let's sit down with Democrats and pick somebody like Merrick Garland who is reasonable, rather than somebody who got picked off a list from the Federalist Society and is being shoved down our throats without a whisper of Democratic support. There are two ways to go, but we've got to be smart about how we play our hand, because if they break us on this, then all the things that we want are broken by losing that filibuster.
You have to press your colleagues. Are you familiar with an organization called Indivisible?
Yeah.
Okay, that is what we are going to do. We are deploying Tea Party tactics. And we will be ruthless. And we have already got 20 momentum they had at the time that they existed.
Good.
So those 7 Democrats are going to face challenges in their primary. You and Chuck Schumer need to be aware of that, and they are aware of that. They will pay the ultimate price.